Don't feel like watching movies, so I'll watch people guess them instead. I don't know how it goes, I think it starts with your show. Wanna laugh,
Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of the Valleycast, brought to you by the Valleyfolk, brought to you by our lovely patrons at patreon.com/thevalleyfolk, as well as all of you lovely people who aren't patrons who just watch things and also have supported us as we are wrapping up right now. We're recording this before it officially finishes, but we're winding down on the Kickstarter for Movie Games. So guys, thank you so much for all of your support with it. It's blown us away, and I'm very excited to go into the manmanufacturing part where we can start shipping these things out to you in the new year, so that 2021
we're gonna learn a lot of crap.
We're gonna learn a lot of crap, and we're gonna ship that crap to you. But guys, we have a very special guest for you today. I mean, look, he's already ready to go.
Who?
He's got.
Hello?
There he is. He's got beautiful pink light behind him. It's Alex Orman, everyone. And Alex.
Hi.
So hey, Alex. Listen. So we have a running gag where we're not good at keeping up with things. I think sometimes people think we have a team that takes care of like our Patreon and all that stuff. You have been nothing but generous since the very inception of the Valleyfolk, and you have given us so much. You've been so kind, and so I want to dive into kind of what your experience has been, but also your backstory, who you are, what you do. I've Googled you a little bit. I've creeped on you.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
And don't worry, I feel the same way when people Google me. It's like, you need to not even go there. But Alex,
Elliot's
tell the
Google
folks...
is a journey. It's a journey.
Don't go on that second page, Google. No.
Oh, no. Yeah, my Google suggestions are just PTSD, just different versions of PTSD for me. But Alex, introduce yourself. Tell everyone what you're doing, who you are, because you yourself, from what I can understand, you do cool stuff. You're a creator yourself, and also you've been in some films, if I'm correct.
I have been in one film, yes. So true. Dude, yes, technically.
That's so many more films than most people. But let's talk about all of that. So Alex, also Steve, by the way, is not on this podcast. I'm sorry about that, Alex. Steve is doing a Santa Steve.
That's okay.
Not to spoil anything. He's
I
prepping,
am Steve.
But yeah.
I am Steve.
You are
today.
Steve today.
Do I need to get the screen effects up? The
yes.
pizza and everything. Yeah, the bug.
We'll throw something in there for sure.
Well, I'm Alex. I was sold to the circus when I was a young child, and I've just been touring around countries in Europe since then, and filming it and posting it, which is great.
Beautiful.
I know.
That's a little too much of a blanket statement, Alex, and not enough detail. What do you do in the circus specifically? Because right now you could be a number of anything within the circus.
See, I expected this to come up. It's always asked. I have arms that are twice as long. The camera doesn't show it right now, but trapeze, of course. You know how the camera adds 10 pounds. The camera shortens arms as well.
That's an old adage, yeah. Hollywood, baby.
But in reality, I've been doing kids games for 5 years on YouTube. So Minecraft, Roblox, Sims, all of that random stuff. Scary games too, which is fun on the psyche when you have to do that every single day, especially in VR too, because that's something quite hellish.
So how did you... Okay, so you're going to have to... If Steve was here, and he's not, he's filming Santa Steve for some gifts, but he understands more about gaming and streaming, and he takes care of all the Twitch stuff. How did you get into why?
It's a longer story than what I said, of course, but I was hired out of university, dropped out, and I was like, I need a job, and then just magically someone contacted me and said, hey, do you want to do editing for this YouTuber? And I was like, okay, who is it? And it's like, well, it's Joey Graceffa. You're going to be doing his video editing. And I was like, all right, sure, let's do that. And I bear in mind, I'd never had a job doing editing stuff. I am an editor primarily because I've done my own things. But anyway,
that's good.
What a random offer to get. Just like,
yeah.
one of the biggest YouTubers around.
Yeah.
She just needs an editor.
And
Yeah.
I looked at the guy's Twitter, the manager at the time, and I saw that he tweeted every single editor in the circles, like saying like, "Hey, we need you, please apply." And I was like, "Oh, cool, I'll just do this then." And then it snowballed from there, where I ended up editing every single one of his vlogs for a year as well as gaming. So
You know all the secrets.
All of the
everything on the
secrets.
cutting room
locked
floor.
behind an NDA. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would get raw footage of Joey Graceffa, who, by the way, I think is a delight. But I also, I mean, he's himself. He does his thing. You'd sift through everything, and was it? I know when I send raw footage to people, it's such a. I feel like I'm punishing whoever is editing it. Like, I feel like for anyone to have to sift through and just listen to me ramble and then try to find the good, I'm like, that is a skill that I don't understand, but I'm very thankful people have it.
Yeah, it definitely, you get the nice part, because Joey's pretty good at doing everything in one shot, without needing many edits in the middle. However, the intro and the outro is always like this little weird mess where I'm like, where's the start? Where's the end?
Where's it begin?
Where'd it go? Where is?
How does this end?
How be?
That's a very good question for an editor to ask.
Yeah.
Hey, when do you want it to go away? When do you want this to stop?
Yeah, and usually it'll be way too early, because I'm like, I'm done. I can't. Let's clip it.
That's when you take the record scratch sound and you put that right at the end and you cut to black.
Exactly.
You could do that at any time.
Your main thing right now is you're doing. You mentioned things like Sims.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I used to be a big fan myself. I always see it, and I'm always like, I love that they're still around. Do you enjoy The Sims still? This is just more of a personal question for me because I'm curious about whether or not I should dive into it again.
Well, yeah, I know that like most people adore The Sims. I had never played it before a couple years back, so I went straight into Sims 4, and I'm like, this is a lot of stuff to be faced with for a video, because I'm like, oh, I've got to record hours of this to get any usable thing. And there was a babies thing I did where you have to look after like 10 babies at once. That's horrible. That's terrible. They're like running outside, getting ran over by cars or going next door. And I'm like, where? Stop. Stay in the house.
I got so into Sims when I was a kid that I downloaded programs that you could use to modify the program, and I even made a little icon for the career I wanted, which for some reason was chef. I made a chef career, but I remember going through and being like, I can adjust this game from the inside using this like weird program, and it only added to the addictiveness of the game, and I miss it every day. But anyway, that's beside the point. We'll talk about Sims in a second.
That's like the nerdiest, most video gamiest part of Elliot that I've ever heard. Like he's malnourished now. He's this shriveled up little gremlin that's deep inside your soul that you don't give food. But there's a little nerdy
little Sims baby
in there.
Little Sims baby.
Yeah, there is. You know, and I didn't want to. I did kind of fish for that, and I thank you guys for taking the bait. You're right, there is, and I have truly missed it because I did become so like obsessed with making sure my sim had enough charisma, and so I would just spend hours making my sims recite speeches in front of the mirror to up their charisma to get them onto the next career level, which I'm sure says a lot about me and the path I took in life, but that's not what this is. That's not what this is. It's just not what this is.
So have you killed many sims, taken out the ladder from the pool or setting the house on fire? Yeah, they took that out of Sims 4. So you have to cheat to make bad things happen. Like I tried to starve a family, which is a terrible soundbite. But
no, I like it. That's the preview for the episode.
That's the title of the episode.
Exactly.
I tried to starve
a good
family.
but I'm trying to find out, Googling frantically, like how to burn house down, how to starve family. And if anyone's like looking at those, the FBI agent, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
oh no, that's bad. Not again. Not again.
Not again. He's really not going to like it this time.
Yeah.
How did you go from, I mean, you've made this into a job, dude. You're doing it. You're like successful at what this is, and you've created an audience making fun content where you get to play cool games. How? We, at the time we all started, there was no market for like a group doing Roblox content. And we realized, well, let's just do that. Yeah.
And then it just spiked up, and it's been a ride from there, trying to figure out what's the next trend. How's it going?
Yeah, are you finding yourself like in factions of certain types of gaming? So it sounds like you're a little bit more in the lifestyle, but Roblox is kind of multiplayer. My daughter played that for a bit, and so did some of the other kids that I know. But like, do you dip into Fortnite, or is Fortnite more of a different faction of the gaming culture that you're like, we're kind of against the Fortnite?
Yeah.
It's us versus them.
I have done Fortnite content. I used to play the game when it came out for a long time. But yes, there are factions and things. People are like, ew, you do Roblox? I'm a Fortnite guy. I'm an Apex Legends, PUBG.
Sorry, Joe, whenever we talk about Fortnite, Joe inevitably just walks away. He's
gone.
Handle he hates Fortnite. That's very funny. Where are you from, man? What's the... Because I didn't know you had an accent until like 10 seconds ago. So
I didn't expect you to know either.
I know, real surprise. It's lovely. But
yeah,
thank
you. I am from Southampton in England. I've lived around the south for a bit, and then I've moved to Vancouver or Canada for the last 4-ish years or so, and I've just stayed here. Now I'm stuck here until next year because I can't travel anywhere.
No. You can't go anywhere.
How is
Vancouver's? Do you love it? Is it?
Absolutely. I moved in December, and then everyone's like, "Oh, shut down, stop, close everything." All the stuff I wanted to do, like the theater, park concerts, all that. I'm like, no. But it's lovely.
Not anymore.
But I love it. Very wet.
How are you doing this year with everything, with COVID and everything? Are you holding up?
I'm pretty good. I have pretty bad asthma. So when they started doing the thing, I was like, oh God, I've got to stay indoors. And I haven't left the house barely.
Good.
Which is good, yeah, because people aren't taking it seriously, which is miserable. But when the vaccine gets spread out, be able to do everything. It'd be great.
I'm gonna take a shot of it like I'm at a bar. I hope they serve it.
Me
at
too.
Bars.
Let's go. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be just the greatest way to take a vaccine? That's such a fun idea.
Especially after this year. Yeah.
New Year's Day. Cheers. Yeah, that'd be great. Just knock it back with everybody. Oh man!
If it mixes with tequila, then better as well.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah. My favorite. I love that people are like, yeah, they're gonna implant a chip in you, and it's always the people that are like saying this and typing it from their phones.
Exactly.
I know that's people have said it, and I know it's a easy observation, but goodness gracious, the like cognitive dissonance to be like, this is dangerous, but this other thing that I carry around in my pocket all the time that listens to me and tells me ads based on what I say around it, that's totally fine. It's all insane. Go ahead.
I have never had a problem. Sorry, thank you. I've never had a problem with a lost train of thought until right now. So sorry. Thank you. Back to you in the studio.
Back to you.
Yes.
Back to you in the studio. But Alex, enough about you. How the hell do you know who we are?
Oh, let's open up the time capsule. I'm not sure how I ended up finding SourceFed. I think it was Martin Littlewood, if you know him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was him who got me onto it.
I don't know him. I know who he is, and he was an early supporter, and also went on to kind of do really cool things, which is one of my favorite things when people just go on and explode in their own right, which it seems like you're doing right now, which is very cool.
It is. It's been absolutely fantastic, and I love my audience very much for that opportunity to be able to do that. is lovely.
Do you miss SourceFed? Do you wish it was still? Were you present during its different transitions and ending?
I don't remember. I think I only usually watched SourceFed Nerd and the Table Talks at the time. And then I, for some reason, stopped watching SourceFed because I don't remember why. Maybe those things stopped at the time. I don't quite recall. You guys will obviously know.
I mean, it was around for, what, 5 years? Something like that?
Yeah.
I think so. So if it was around 5 to 6 years, I mean, you know, people grow, people change. You come and go with the content that you take in.
And then
you can only listen to so many table talk stories.
Well, I could listen to them forever. They're always so hilarious when you get something weird come up as a topic. I love it. But then my friend told me about dynamic banter, and I was like, okay, yeah, let's listen to this. I liked Steve as well. I liked all of you guys, and I got into that. And then I heard all about the SourceFed stuff from that perspective of Mike and Steve talking about it. And then when you guys announced the Valleyfolk, I was like, yes, let's support this. It was great. It was great.
Well, and you did support us, man, and you did it right at the beginning, and that was just a crazy time. We didn't expect any that big of a response, and it was a very surreal thing that we were not and probably still aren't prepared for in many ways. But thank you very much for getting excited about it, because I know we were like shocked about the whole situation.
Yeah, a whole new venture.
Whole new venture, and a whole, like, it's like building on a thing, and also you're wanting to, like, at least in my mind, I was like, let's improve on what SourceFed was and what it didn't do and did do and make it better. And then, like, you know, you juggle the balls a little bit until you're like, okay, this is now, it's just its own thing, and it is weird and different and strange, and it's beautiful. So I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I'm also very impressed. Me too. Of myself, not you.
Absolutely.
The movie game is, like, obviously wrapping up now. I just backed it because I honestly thought the countdown had ran out, and then I saw a tweet today and I was like, oh no, well, let's do that. But wow, the response on that too is astonishing.
It's so weird,
again,
man.
Surprising and humbling and exciting, and it's been very nice.
Yeah, what's been your experience with, like, because we have, the way I view us is sort of like we've really, really lucked out and been very blessed with a audience that has allowed us to experiment and do different things, do weird things, step outside of what we used to do. And it's I don't know of many people, regardless of their, like, size, regardless of how successful they are, who have that kind of, like, relationship with an audience that allows the creator to sort of ebb and flow and evolve. What's been, like, your experience with your audience? Like, have you had a similar, I mean, you have a younger audience from what I understand, and you're doing these, I'm assuming, playthroughs or something like that? I know so little, so I'm sorry if that doesn't make sense.
I don't really think I've done many playthroughs at all. It's more like a improv on the fly commentary. Just letting whatever these children do dictate how the video goes. Cool. And it's always ridiculous. Really, you can expect the wackiest things just from this little inception of an idea from a kid who's like, pick me up, be my dad in the game. And I'm like, what? What? Hello?
Where's your dad?
But overall, things ebb and flow naturally when you have a children's audience because they jump and jump and jump from trend to trend to trend.
Okay.
So I have just been having to stab in the dark all these years for, like, what is going to be helping me rather than just leaving me behind if I keep doing this.
Right, because you have to stay ahead of the trends and kind of be within the zeitgeist of their conversation.
Exactly.
What a fun sandbox to play in, though. Like, if you're
Absolutely
doing improv and you're doing it with what is basically the most unfiltered imaginations around, you must have so much fun.
A lot of times it is when you get a good thing come up, you are loving it. You can't help but smile and laugh along with it and just lose your mind about what they're deciding to do. Like driving a car into you just suddenly, and you're like, "Help! Excuse me? No,
pardon me, child.
Pardon me, child. Yeah.
Excuse me. Don't hit me with a car.
Excuse me, please, no.
And I would have to imagine you're also blown away by the moments of brilliance, because I'll be with my kids sometimes, and sometimes,
yeah,
like whenever I'm present, but they'll drop these little nuggets of insight that even 38 years in, I'm like, why didn't I think of that? That's insane. You're so smart. And if you're just playing in a world of that, you have to be experiencing that every once in a while, I would imagine.
Absolutely. These kids know these worlds that they're playing in and out. Like, they know how to do anything. So you hear them say this nice idea or clever thing, and you're like, wait, I can do that? How do you know about that? Like, what? That's insane. Like, take me away. Show me this thing. And they are very smart.
Do you feel a sense of responsibility, a sense of sort of Big Brother, like, not Big Brother like 1984, but Big Brother like true Big Brother, kind of like you want to be a good role model?
A protector.
You really do, because if you're doing something a bit like untoward, they don't want to be near. They don't want any of that, and it's not really respected either. Mm-hmm. So if you're being nice, open, friendly, guiding, and letting them guide you to a better place, then it's way more fun, way more enjoyable to watch, and the best content.
Very cool.
Yeah, like content-wise, it's a very interesting. I like that as well, because what you're doing is, we've tried to have audience interaction in forms of prompts or give us a starting point, but your audience can't help but feel like they are part of the thing that they're watching, and they're so engaged. Sorry, I'm just talking out loud. It's such an interesting way to make entertainment.
Out loud, Joe, you're talking out loud so eloquently, and also a notification popped up that the meeting host extended this meeting to unlimited minutes.
Wow.
And so I believe both Alex and I were like, well, here we go, I guess.
You can probably see the moment where we're like, oh.
Both of us are like, okay.
He's sticking around.
Right, Joe.
But yeah, your audience, what an engaging, what a fun, different form of entertainment, because your content is not only for the audience, but it's dependent upon. And that's got to be fun, but also has to have like a different type of pressure as well as a creator.
Yeah, it's not so much the pressure, but more like how that audience interacts with you once the video is up. Like, they'll be kind of like, I always wanted the older audience that you guys have, where you can kind of talk to people with a one-on-one attitude, knowing what they mean, what they want, and they can really easily say their ideas. Whereas the younger audiences leave the comments, they're like, please like this comment, my grandma has died.
Oh,
and
no.
I'm like, what? And that was a trend at one point. All of these kids found out that if they left comments saying like, please, my cat, dog, mum, dad, uncle, aunt have all died, give me likes. And they say that. They're not like, please, my relative has just passed away. I need help. I need support. Please like
Kids
for
are
a
dark,
prayer.
Manipulated. Little demons. We're going to call that death baiting. We're coining the phrase.
Yeah.
Death
Great
baiting.
term.
What percentage of them do you think were lying?
Oh, some of that's
first, like some, right? Like 1 or 2.
Wait, 1 or 2% lying or not lying?
Yeah, lying.
Lying is probably 99.5%.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, okay. I'm grounding my kids when we get off.
Oh yeah, Hayden's probably made you die so many times, Joe. You have no idea. She's got so many likes. Empty room. It's filled with ads. Welcome to the ads portion of this podcast, everybody, and thank you to Alex for being a part of this episode. Alex was one of our original patrons. He was incredibly generous, and then through our ups and downs, we realized that we had not given him the appropriate amount of love, and so thank you to Alex for being a part of it. Thank you for you guys for going on this journey with us as well. But let's dive into some ways in which you can support this podcast as well as yourself. And one of the main reasons you can do it is through your undergarments. You know, the holidays can be the most stressful time of the year. If only there was some bearded man with a bottomless bag of everything you need to cross off that list. I'm talking about Santa Steve, folks. Thankfully, our friends at MeUndies have the next best festive thing. MeUndies curated a list of the stuff your friends really want this year so you can soften the holiday stress. What's the saying? Work softer, not harder. Their micromodal is not only super soft, but it's breathable, light, and impossibly cozy. It's everything you need to have a stress-free and comfortable holiday. Gift some me time with MeUndies, sustainably soft undies, PJ sets, slippers, and more. You guys know about MeUndies. We talk about them all the time. We talk about talking about them all the time. We talk about wearing them. I'm wearing them right now. I'm part of their monthly thing, and they give me a gift every month, and it's beautiful and it's wonderful. My entire drawer now is only MeUndies, and I simply won't do anything else. You can also gift a membership with a MeUndies gift card. Their membership is a subscription that sends new pairs right to their door so they never have to run out of undies again. It's wonderful. You really should try it. With site-wide savings and exclusive sales, they automatically pay less for, well, everything. MeUndies has a great offer for our listeners. For any first-time purchasers, what are you waiting on? You get 15% off and free shipping. MeUndies also has their problem-free philosophy. So if you're not satisfied with any product for any reason, they'll refund or exchange it. No caveats, no questions, just nice, cozy, comfy underwear. So to get your 15% off your first order and free shipping, go to MeUndies.com/Valley. That's MeUndies.com/Valley. Go to MeUndies.com/Valley to get 15% off your first order and free shipping so that we can all be underwear brothers and sisters in harmony together. And it's worth it. It's worth every penny. They're actually, they're really wonderful. You know what else is worth it? Well, guys, this is a perfect sponsor for this particular episode because it is about shipping things. And I'm currently working on the holiday gifts/New Year gifts. Spoiler alert, because it's a lot of things. But I think it's going to be worth the wait. And, I've been so confused on how to ship things conveniently in a way that gets the products to you safely and soundly. Well, guess what? This holiday season, I'm not alone. More people will be mailing stuff than ever before. So that means that the post office is going to be busy. You don't have time for that. Stamps.com brings the post office and now UPS shipping right to your computer. Mail and ship anything from the convenience of your home or office. With Stamps.com, anything you can do with the post office, you can do with just a few clicks. Plus, Stamps.com saves you money with deep discounts that you can't even get at the post office. Stamps.com brings the services of the U.S. Postal Service and UPS right to your computer. Stamps.com is a must-have for any business. Tell me about it. Whether you're a small office sending out invoices, an online seller fulfilling orders during this record-setting holiday season, or even a giant warehouse sending thousands of packages a day, Stamps.com can handle it all with ease. Simply use your computer to print official U.S. postage 24/7 for any letter, any package, even Patreon holiday gifts for our super VIP and up patrons. Any class of mail anywhere that you want to send it. Once your mail is ready, just schedule a pickup or drop it off. It's that simple. I'll be scheduling a pickup. There's like 70 of them. With Stamps.com, you get 5 cents off of every first-class stamp and up to 40% off priority mail and up to 62% off UPS shipping rates. Not to mention, it's a fraction of the cost of those expensive postage meters. Stamps.com is a no-brainer. It saves you time and money. It's no wonder over 900,000 small businesses already use Stamps.com, and we're one of them. And we're the best one of all 900,000 of them. We're the smoothest operating, too, I bet you can tell. Don't spend a minute of your holiday season at the post office this year. Sign up for Stamps.com instead. There's no risk. With our promo code ValleyCast, you get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in the code ValleyCast. That's the name of this podcast, so it's easy to remember. That's Stamps.com, enter ValleyCast. Stamps.com, never go to the post office again. Go to Stamps.com and click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in ValleyCast to claim your special offer today. Now, back to the podcast, back to getting to know one of our new favorite people now. Seamless transition, go.
That's how she got all her TikTok followers.
Yeah, she's blown up on TikTok. Do you do that? Do you play the game on all the platforms? Like, where's your trajectory that you're going, Alex? Do you because I'm searching for inspiration as much as I'm trying to dive into what your method is, but I'm also like, do you as someone who is up and coming and as someone who's exploding, are you keeping an eye on, are you on TikTok? Are you on Instagram? Are you keeping it, are you juggling all these plates or spinning all these plates at the same time? Or are you just this thing's working and we're going to keep doing this?
Is your name on the antitrust lawsuit also filed with Facebook? Are you trying to break it up so there's more platforms for you to exist on?
Will you like my comment right now because my dog just died?
Can you relaunch MySpace, please, so I can...
Will you please...
Yeah!
Yeah. What is the question? I've lost it.
No, the question was buried in my own vamping. But are you I guess my question is how much time basically in a week are you spending working from your home? Is it become a labor of love where you're just constantly in this world of creation? or are you regimented? Are you a scheduler? Are you I do it this hour to this hour and that's it? And if so, follow-up question, are you keeping an eye on every other platform, every other area in which you can gain some sort of exposure?
Talking about the exposure part first, I despise using my social medias for like work stuff, like say look at this X video or watch me do this thing. So I'll just be tweeting absolutely awful jokes and which are just not relevant to my content. Like my TikToks are just stupid ideas I have that
that's a diversification of your mind.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's great. I enjoy that because I can just post these things and my audience is like, what is something wrong with you? Do you need help? Do you need assistance? Do you know, did someone die? I can give you a like. I have one like.
Give you a like.
Here it is. Thank you.
Make this problem go away.
But I currently am on break basically from my channel because I was just absolutely lost on what to do because I hadn't seen any like up ramp in over a year. And so I was like, well, I've got to stop. And I've got to research everything, find out what I want to do, what I'm going to do next. And it's been lovely. I've really enjoyed it. It's been great mental health help.
Good for you. A lot of people won't pull that trigger. Good for you for doing it.
It's been very, very nice to do. But usually I would spend maybe 1 day, 2 days a week kind of just figuring out, looking at every possible channel of ideas and trends and things. And doing like, okay, here's one. How do I put that into a title? How do I put that into the thumb? Before I even start the recording. But usually I would jump in, record something, and something hilarious would happen. And there's your
there's your content.
Yeah, you're feeling the flow as opposed to dictating it, which is always a good thing.
I'm more of a very flowy person when it comes to making videos because I might record at 9 a.m. 2 videos. I might record at 4 a.m. 1 video. I have no idea. I'm sure my neighbors hate me. Yes.
So you've been existing in the world of YouTube. You're doing it. You were inspired by it. You used to watch some back in the day, how you kind of found SourceFed. Who are you as a YouTuber and a YouTube watcher? Who are you watching now? Like, what type of things interest you? What channels? What personalities? Like, if you were to have to suggest some YouTubers for other people to go watch, who might you say?
And not just Elliot, Joe, Steve, but there's others too. Alex, you really got to stretch your brain here. I know we're the bastions, but
you'll have to talk to my agent about that promotional cost right there.
Joey Graceffa.
Yeah. my favorite YouTubers right now are a couple called their channel's called The Tim Tracker, and they live in Orlando and they just go to all the theme parks. They see what's new. They have the cutest kid and it's the most delightful, wholesome content, and they put stuff out every day, and it's currently serving my craving to go to the parks when I can't.
So you're a theme park boy.
Very much so.
Ooh,
massive.
Yeah. What's your favorites? What's your favorite rides?
My favorite rides right now, I think, is the Hagrid ride in Orlando. They've just built it, just opened it. Unbelievable.
Really cool.
What happens on that one? Because we have the little Harry Potter land, which is very cool here in LA. But like, what's the Orlando version like?
The Orlando version I absolutely love because it's this ginormous roller coaster that goes insanely fast, and you get to ride in the Hagrid's motorbike from Harry Potter, if you know that. And it has like 8 launches, so you feel like your back almost breaks every single time because you're in this bike and you're like, oh boy. And it's this huge roller coaster. It doesn't go loops or anything, but it has like drops and backwards parts. It's unbelievably massive for what it is, but they've got the space there. They can do that.
Yeah,
they do have the space. I mean, it blows my mind, and it blew my mind back in the day when I lived in Florida. The amount of, like, you think there's nothing there except for a couple acres, and then they put in giant rides in a whole new land that they just insert into the overall map of the park. And I remember being like, this is like an engineering marvel, and it works perfectly.
Definitely.
At least it did. For the most part, yeah. I mean, I love the Orlando theme parks. I would love to go back to Islands of Adventure in Orlando and see the Seuss Land and the Marvel Land and the Wizarding World, all that stuff. I haven't seen any of like the updated rides or whatever, but man, are you a Disney man? Do you do the Disney?
I do as well. I enjoy that a lot too. But jumping back to the Islands of Adventure thing, I wrote a note down because I watched one of the episodes you put out where you were talking about what if there was a Blondie's comic theme park or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I've got a tidbit, got a little tidbit.
All right.
In Islands of Adventure, there is a comics area and there's a Blondie's restaurant themed to the comic.
No way.
Yeah,
Is it the one where outside there's a speech bubble that you can pose under?
Yeah, they have speech bubbles everywhere around there. But that whole area is old comics that no kid or anything has ever seen in their
Kathy.
life.
It's like there's like a telephone. You can just listen to Kathy complain. What a random reference that nobody probably understands.
Nor
I
me.
didn't get it.
So, no.
Yeah, you're alone. You're alone, Joe.
Sunday's comic strip. Holy crap.
Yeah.
I used to, when I was like 11, I had like season passes to Islands of Adventure, and I would always there was this one place in the Dr. Seuss land, and I don't know if it's still there, but they sold these like green and orange slushies that were very Seussian and very just like ices, and they would get me all hyped up, and then I would go drink that and then ride the Hulk ride. And I don't know if there's a better situation as a kid than to live in Florida and be able to experience that. So
I've always been envious of people who have grown up like that and just been able. Well, speaking of that, when I was a kid, my parents lived in Anaheim for the first 3-4 years of my life, so I have memories of going to Disney every week as this kid. And even more so, I remembered the Rocket Rods ride at Disney. Do you know what that was? Where the People Mover was. They had the Rocket Rod, like these cars that went really fast. And
yeah.
Yeah, and it was only there for a couple of years, but that was during my time there, and I remember seeing that. And
man, they whisked you away right when it was about to get really cool for you as a kid.
I know.
Hey,
and I'm like, why did you choose to do that?
We're out of here.
Back to some small town in England. Yeah, but it's been
this
great.
Thing, we're going to give you a little taste of dreams, and then we're going to rip it away.
Alex, did you know that I used to work at Disney World and I was Goofy for a very long time?
Are you serious? Is that true?
Goofy and Captain Hook and Tigger and Baloo and Brer Bear. The racist one.
Oh, yes, the one that's
from the racist cartoon.
The racist ride. Yeah.
Song of the Racist.
Exactly. Wow.
Yeah, I did that for a very long time, and I still remember so many facts that you learn about it, but I was very frequently in the underground tunnels that connect all of Walt Disney World. Do you know about this?
I do, the utilidors.
Utilidors, yeah. That's it. And you would take a tram basically from the employee parking lot to these underground tunnels. And you could get across the park in like no time at all. And the memories, dude, that I have of that are so weirdly special and surreal of like being in doing a job where like they had these things called spare days is what I would often do, and you would go in and the only job that you had to do was sit around and wait in case someone else called in sick, because it's Disney, you can't have Goofy calling in sick, so they would bring in some spares. And so those were my favorite days. And there was one time where I was in like this old-timey, probably like Main Street type restaurant, and it was at the top where they would have it all hang out, and then the fireworks would go off, and the fireworks would be like 10 feet out the window, and I remember being like, this is the most magical, beautiful experience in the whole world. And I know I can't experience it now. If I go back, I can't be like, let me into the back, let me watch it from the cool angle. But yeah, that place is it truly is weirdly magical. I am a firm believer.
Yeah,
that
that's how they get the lifers. There's literal people that are just like, I just want to work here.
They
for the
do.
rest of my life.
Yeah, I mean, people who were doing the same job that I was doing as the Mickeys and the Minnies. Many of them are very obsessive about what they do and very pure about their love of bringing joy to kids day in and day out, and it is intoxicating. Like, it is one of the greatest things you can do especially at my time. I was probably in high school to early college, and you couldn't ask for a better job than to, like, you have to drive a long time, wait, everything, but then for your work, you're just making kids happy, and, like, especially if it was like Captain Hook or something. So fun, so cool.
That's amazing. That's really cool. I have a question. Anyway. Big question. Numero uno question. Do you still remember how to do the signatures for?
Yeah.
No way. Is there specific signatures that everybody has to do the same?
You have to get tested. Yeah, you have to get them. Yeah, you have to take a whole class, and if you don't get it, the people legitimately get cut. And yeah, I would alter. I can still do the goofy accent. I can still do the goofy signature, and I can do the Captain Hook signature, but I don't remember. And I think I remember the blue one, but that one's pretty easy. You put a little paw print for a little bear paw print for the blue one, and then the goofy one, I would add a little hat. The hardest one was Captain Hook because it was cursive, and so and also you had to balance the signature book on your hook.
Big gloved hands for other people.
Yeah,
as well, right?
And the hook always has to be on the same hand, right? So like a certain
always
like
left hand. So you kind of balance it. Or Captain Hook is very fun because I would make the people turn around and I'd use their heads or whatever because I barely made the height for Captain Hook. But yeah, they took that stuff so seriously. Yeah, you couldn't, and then you could only say certain words too, especially as Goofy. You could only say like a yuck. But now I guess they blink. And they like...
Oh, yeah, the weird robot faces where they talk, they blink, and they speak as well. Like, it's very odd.
Too much power. I liked it when it was a mystery.
As a kid, I don't think I would want to hear a faint yuck coming from the inside of Goofy's, like, eye area.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it doesn't sound like how Goofy sounds, ever.
Isn't that how all the like the stormtroopers are in the new Star Wars land? They all have like these automatic and I think they're controlled with the fingers. Yeah. So it's like if you ask them a question and they're like, "We want you to get out of this area," they just like move the index finger and it automatically says it for them.
It's very cool. Crazy. The new Star Wars area is awesome.
So cool.
Everything. I could talk about it for hours and hours.
Please, I love this because I feel like you know all the questions that Elliot should be asked. So I feel like you need to just keep asking Elliot questions because I'm fascinated right now.
Lay it on me, Alex. What do you got?
Oh, wow. I don't think I have any other specific questions.
Okay,
all right, then that's enough. Thank you so much.
Goodbye. That's it.
We'll cut you off there. I actually am tired of answering questions about it. Yeah. No, I haven't been to any of the Star Wars ones or any of the new ones, and I think I just, in this moment, had a dawning realization that that's what I want for my Christmas. What are you asking for Christmas, Alex?
A boyfriend.
Yeah?
Well, maybe I've got it. I'll go ask some in the back. I got some in the back.
You asking your parents?
No, they would not choose someone suitable. No, for real, I would just like everything to wrap up COVID related just as fast as possible.
No doubt.
Absolutely. I think that's everyone's one wish, probably.
Yeah, all I want for Christmas is my dang life back. We said we weren't gonna, and I've already done it.
Oh, no, you've done it twice, Elliot. You did it once. And you didn't even realize it.
I know, I did. Oh, I realized it, and then I was hoping you guys didn't, but I did realize because before we started, I was like, got nothing to worry about. I don't even curse at all, and then it's been 3 times now, and I've done it, so I apologize very much, and I'm not proud of that. And so, anyway, I'm just gonna head out.
We put big old honks over them. Have you been up to? This is not a theme park, but I remember because I grew up in Montana, and my dad was from Canada, and we would frequent up there, and it was kind of this just like fantasy land for us. And Edmonton Mall was a place that I always wanted to go to because I don't know if you know, Elliot, but Edmonton Mall is like the biggest in North America.
Is it the Mall of America?
No, it's in Canada.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's a dumb thing I said.
Yeah.
I don't know what Edmonton is. I have no idea.
Edmonton is like a super northern Canadian city in Alberta, but it's got this massive mall with like water slides and a bunch of crazy stuff in it.
Water slides, roller coasters, a full size like galleon. It's like,
yeah.
It's on my list, but I haven't been
either. No. Well, maybe we have a Edmonton date in our future once COVID's over.
That sounds great. Yeah, we'll just get some sort of weird poisoning from the water system that they have in the pool.
Yeah. Yeah, why not? That's great.
Man, it's so great. It is weird to think that one day, like, this thing is gonna be vaccinated against, and we're gonna be able to go enjoy things and not feel super weird. But man, it really can't come soon enough. I remember when the coronavirus broke out, and I took a bet with some of my friends, and we all bet like this will be over by July. No, August. No, September. And I remember the friend who did September, I was like, that's insane, man. That's obviously this isn't going to last that long. Boy, what an idiot I was. Boy, what a silly goose.
All of us had that same thought. It's like, when is this going to summer? It has to be summer. It's got to be.
Yeah.
And then, hello, Christmas.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're single, man. So you're single.
Yes. I tried dating earlier in the year, which happened to be good because I was like, oh, I've got something to do while I'm in the start of lockdown. And then we were like, oh, this isn't. It just lockdown kept getting pushed. And we're just like, well, it's no more.
Take a rain check on trying this out.
Exactly.
Yeah. This isn't working.
Yeah, that was basically
not you, it's the pandemic.
It's not you, it's COVID.
Well, you were saying, it's like we were all having our different versions of dealing with COVID and quarantine and all that. Like I have to do school with the kids and stuff. And that's my experience and has taken over the last. But you've used words like, I know you moved to Vancouver, but you also said stuck. Like you kind of feel like you can't. Do you feel like you're in a foreign place and you can't get home or you can't visit home, and that's kind of been the tough part for you during this?
It was that because I had planned to go back to England for Christmas at least, because I was like, by this time, got to be wrapped up because I've got like visa stuff. My visa ran out in summer, and I was like, well, I can't leave, so I'll take the 6-month free extension thing. And then I'm like, it's now past that 6 months, and I still haven't got a word back from the government. So I have this weird like limbo.
They're like, Alex,
visa.
We're busy.
Yeah, like visa.
Something.
We're not going to tell you if you're being an illegal immigrant right now. We're just going to leave you.
We have other things.
We have other things. Yeah, like a thing. But
dude,
I
went at the beginning of COVID. I had my car didn't have like its registration paid, and I had moved several times, and I guess the DMV didn't have my address, so they never sent me stickers and blah blah. And I had an appointment at the DMV, and then when COVID hit, I was like, well, I can't go to the DMV because it's a COVID situation, and that's dangerous. But really deep down, I know it's because I just didn't want to go. But I used COVID as an excuse, and then my girlfriend took my car out, and she got pulled over by a police officer. And that didn't go well for me because it turned out that was my responsibility to make sure that the registration was paid. So, dude, I went to the DMV on last Friday, because I was like, I'm going to see what I can get done. I had a court date set for yesterday to go into a court and see a judge.
Wow.
You did not. Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I have a psychological problem with like parking tickets, registration, tags, all that stuff. Like I don't care. I don't think about it. If I get a parking ticket, I'll be like, I got to pay it in 3 weeks. It's very problematic. But I went to the DMV during COVID, and I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. I was like, I've already paid my registration, but they sent me the wrong address to the tags, and I went in, and I was like, this is going to be such a pain. COVID has made going to the DMV, at least, one of the easiest and safest experiences of my life. It was downright pleasant. Like everyone, the attention was like, when you walk in, it's not like a line. It's like someone greets you and they're like, hi, how can I help you? And I'm like, oh, I'm here to do this. I have to get proof of a correction so that I can take it to the sheriff's office, I guess, or take it to the court and tell them that I'm good to go. And they were like, okay, well, just, whatever, to sign in here and we'll call your name in a little bit. And it took like 20 minutes, and they took my temperature and everything. Everyone's wearing masks. All the chairs are distanced. It was so easy. I go to the courthouse. I walk into the courthouse. I go in through security. Security says, do you have an appointment? And I was like, no, but I have a court date set for like Tuesday. So if there's a way and they were like, take this paper, call this paper, or call the number on this paper, and you can't enter right now. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I call the number, and the people at the courthouse are like, yeah, you just got to go around the side of the building, and there's an envelope. You can put a check for $25 and then dump it in the Dropbox, and we'll have your case cleared by the end of the day. And I was like, this is the coolest thing. And I was like, you guys have made my life so much easier. And I should have just paid this on time. But there is hope. There is light at the end of the tunnel, I guess, in some ways.
It sounds like you got to pay less. Like you got away with. You got away with murder, Elliot. You might have actually got away with murder.
Yeah. And when I was at the DMV, I was like, can I get like stickers and can I get like a new registration? And can you update my address? And I have all the I did have all the forms. In my defense, I had all the forms and everything, filled out. And they're like, yeah, no problem. Here you go. Here's everything. I haven't had you've seen, Joe. I haven't had up-to-date stickers on the back of my car in eons. Like probably since before Valleyfolk started. And now this bad boy, she's got
ready to go.
Yeah. She's got stickers on her now, and they were like, "Here you go." And I was like, "This is so easy. It's amazing if you try to do things, what you can get done."
It's very nice.
That's the moral of my story.
Yeah, put it on a shirt.
It's amazing what you can do if you get things done. It's really crazy. So you might be an illegal immigrant.
Maybe, because it was. I blame COVID for everything. But I applied to Vancouver Film School here earlier last year, and the government was like, no, you can't go to school here. You need a new visa, and we can't do this until you leave the country. But you can't leave the country because you're not allowed to leave the country. No. So I was like, my hands are very tied right now.
Yeah.
And then the school was like, well, you can come back next May and do the course, do as you would have. I was like, I'm not allowed in the country. I can't do that. But now I'm just like, I'll just hide in my apartment. No, don't talk to me. Don't answer the letters, nothing. Which I luckily haven't got any of yet. I don't even know if they live here.
What a limbo you're existing in. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be a needle drop, leave the country thing, or if they're going to be like, nah, it's fine. Just stay. It's on us,
right?
Please.
Yeah.
Trudeau seems like a nice guy. That's all I gotta say. Trudeau seems top notch. I think you're fine.
I hope I'm fine. If not, big trouble. Big trouble.
Oh, I'm sorry that you're dealing with that anxiety.
Yeah, man. I mean, I wish you the best. It's also very lovely to get to talk to you, and it's also nice that you talk to us, because I know we've been negligent on the Patreon stuff and making sure that you're not feeling completely ignored. So thank you for your patience on that front. But to round out, I mean, we've been going for a little bit. Do you have any questions at all or comments for us that you would like us to dive into that are specifically related to being Goofy and or Captain Hook?
Yes. Okay. The moment you were talking about looking over the fireworks, were you half dressed in a Goofy costume at that time?
Were your Goofy pants off?
Your Captain Hook is naked from the waist down, or?
Well, Alex, I mean, you have a younger audience, so I'm gonna be as honest with you as I can here. I don't know what you're talking about. Goofy's Goofy. I was just a friend of Goofy, who knew him, you could say, inside and out for a time. But yeah, I think sometimes I was, and it was about that dumb. It's as stupid as you can imagine. If you imagine no head of a Goofy and then giant overalls and big
massive shoes,
big shoes, then you can pretty much imagine what it's like. And then you can imagine being like an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, and then looking up at fireworks and still being caught up in the wondrousness of it. Oh, you know what sucked though, dude? Crystal Palace. So Crystal Palace is a restaurant. You know about this?
I do.
Worst. They would do, I don't know if they still do it, but it's where you can eat and the characters come around to you. Awful experience. Like they would rush us through these things, and they set up every table in the restaurant like 2 feet. And then so if I was playing something like, I don't know, let's say Tigger, because that was a Winnie the Pooh restaurant. You'd have all the Winnie the Pooh characters running around. Tigger, I don't know if you know this, very big tail, very large tail that kids love to grab at, especially if they're at a dinner table. And so I would be taking a picture with one kid and being assaulted by another kid at another table, and then somebody would be like, okay, he's got to go. Tigger's got to go. Tigger's got to go. And it was a nightmare. So I forgot about this. This has been a really nice trip down memory lane.
Yeah, I'm thinking of when I was on the other side of that, on the table, yanking Tigger's hair, Tigger's tail. Yeah, when I was 20.
I used to gently step on the kids' feet sometimes if they were really bratty. I would because they would want to hug Tigger, but they would only want to hug Tigger after they were really mean to Tigger, and I would be like, well, you got to pay the piper a little bit. And so I would kind of step on their toe and then hug them and kind of pull them up, but their feet would still be attached to the ground, so it would kind of stretch their bodies out, maybe make them taller. I think I was doing them a favor. What advice do you have for us, Alex? What can we do to improve ourselves?
I really don't know.
We can't see.
I love how you guys present yourselves. The quality is amazing, and I am very thankful for you messaging me back.
You're welcome. I apologize. We do try, believe it or not.
You succeeded. That's the thing. You tried. You did it.
And you were very responsive and polite, and you're a beautiful person, and thank you for doing this. Do you want to plug any kind of anything? Like anything
any projects, any socials, anything like that you want people to go check out?
I mean, if you want really nonsense tweets, you can follow @Crafted. But my channel is probably not really that interesting to see for anybody who might be listening to this, you lovely friends.
Dude, isn't it funny? Like we're living, I think, I don't know, man. Maybe it was it's just a relic of having come up in the YouTube space like a decade ago. But the whole what do you want to plug thing is 9 times out of 10 in my experience these days. People are like, nah, I can find one.
I don't have any coffee to promote. Any Alex branded coffee coming out.
Wouldn't that be great, dude?
Yeah.
Crafted coffee is a great name, though. So
taken, stolen, got it. Noted.
Crafted
Thank you.
coffee.
And that's just for you.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
giving kids coffee. Maybe.
You got to get them hooked at some point. You might as well be a gateway. Why not?
Yeah. There we go. Perfect plan in stone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're just paving the path for your future. Anyways, thank you for sitting with us. Thank you for the support that you've given us over the years. And this was fun. Thank you for being brave enough to jump on this this podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, because yes, I am a nervous boy anyway. And thankfully, this construction is actually demolition, by the way. They're demolishing the side of the building.
That you live in?
Yes. I got an email that said demolition will start from the top down. I was like, did you mean construction? Like, no. Demolition.
You know how in our emails back and forth, you mentioned several times, you were like, I don't know about this construction, but I'm making the connection now about having to go to the DMV and the courthouse and all that stuff, where my brain just goes, nah, it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. And we'll just ignore that as a problem and hope everything turns out dandy.
Yeah.
And it, man, it's really, I'm glad it worked out for this podcast episode.
So
but
well.
It's not teaching me to be more responsible about impending problems. So yeah, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Alex, thank you so much, and everybody, thank you for listening. And normally we would plug our Kickstarter right now, but this is going to go up for our patrons at patreon.com/thevalleyfolk on Monday, and it'll go up for everybody else on Wednesday. If you guys are listening to this and you would like to join our Patreon, head over to patreon.com/thevalleyfolk. We're also right now putting together our holiday gifts, which will either get to you before Christmas or they won't, but it's going to be a little bit better than last year's. That's for our super VIP and up patrons. And it's got all sorts of fun stuff that kind of takes from the past year that we've been doing with the Valleyfolk, and unique things you can't get anywhere else. But if you're interested in that kind of thing, or if you are a patron, go to patreon.com/thevalleyfolk and sign up, or dive into those types of things. And Joe, is there anything else that you would like to? We don't have a Kickstarter to promote anymore. You just have to make a game.
No, that's it. Thanks to Alex. Thank you to everybody else that's a patron. Thank you to everybody that backed the Kickstarter. There's been questions on, will it be offered as something you can purchase now that the Kickstarter's over? And I think so. We're going to get a pledge manager in place, and pieces of the expansions, the game itself will still be able to purchase as we figure this out going down the line.
Is that possible? Because
it is possible.
All right.
That's what I just found out. Yeah.
I Googled it, and okay, yep, great.
Possibly. I could be wrong. Who knows? No promises. And then, man, that's it. And speaking of the patron, the Patreon, there'll be some movie game extras from the last shoot that'll be going up there, as well as other stuff. So, anyways,
as well as my new wonderful series, Sitting with Elliot. The newest one is about what is it? All the ways I've changed in 2020, and then there's another one about multiple personality disorder and how we all have it. Speaking just as myself. So that's I don't know why I talked about that. I think I probably just watched a documentary, but what can you do?
And stay tuned for Elliot's new series, Behind the Goof, because I just want all the stories.
Goofy and Me.
I think you should turn that into something.
That actually would be a pretty good little limited series podcast, Joe. I love that idea. It is crazy how memories work, because just in that conversation, it dug up a bunch of stuff. So anyway, it's very fun. We'll explore that later. Alex, thank you very much, man. You're a wonderful human being. Thank you.
Thank you too. I love you both. You've been amazing. And Steve?
He's
Steve, get in here.
Wherever he is. Hi.
He's somewhere. He's working on
We'll tell
Santa
him you said
Steve,
that.
guys. That's the thing. He's actually working on Santa Steve, so you're going to get some Santa Steve. It's going to be great.
It's wonderful. All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye.